Life as an adult is annoying. Bills, aging, and if you're white, putting your parents in a nursing home. Everyone seems to be yearning for the good old days. Remember Nintendo, Saved by the Bell, the LA riots? If only there was something that could take us back to that time again.
Well, Chuck E. Cheese is leveling up for us grown-ups.
Yeah, the company has launched Chuck's Arcade. It is an adults-only spin-off.
No, not that. I meant more like a Back to the Future themed strip club with a dancer named DeLorean. But, okay, what the hell is this?
Inside, it's fun and games, a mix of retro classics, VR experiences, and claw machines. There's a nod to the past. Each location features a decommissioned animatronic on display. Prizes, candy, and merch are all here, but no food or drink for sale.
It's all about the games, and it's all about the arcade experience.
Yeah, I mean, why should kids get to have all the fun at Chuck E. Cheese? When's it going to be my turn to get hand, foot, and mouth disease in the ball pit? Also, if you're opening an arcade aimed at adults, why aren't you serving booze? Every adult activity is just an excuse to drink. I mean, weddings, birthdays, waking up, driving to work. Next thing you're going to tell me there's no prostitutes there either. I mean, at least Madam Oink looks like she puts out. So clearly, this boozeless, hookerless arcade is a cheap attempt to cash in on the stupid nostalgia craze. But based on what I've seen, Chuck E. Cheese is the last place where adults should be.
A woman got stuck inside a money-grabbing machine at a Chuck E. Cheese restaurant in Burbank.
A still unidentified woman inside the Snow Day game console on her knees, her right hand stuck in a hole. Burbank firefighters took 22 minutes to free her.
Look, you can't just call the fire department to save this imbecile, okay? This is Chuck E. Cheese. You have to win her. Okay? Fair and square. But hey, maybe I'm being too hard on this dumbass woman, okay? I'm sure this happens all the time.
Snow Day is manufactured by a company called Coastal Amusements, said company president Michael Dean. There are hundreds of these games in Chuck E. Cheese's throughout the country, and we've never seen something like this happen before.
Wow, this is really exciting. I mean, she found a completely undiscovered way to be an idiot. Give her a Nobel Prize, preferably one with no sharp edges. So yeah, it looks like adults going to Chuck E. Cheese isn't such a great idea. And I don't just mean as customers.
Police in Tallahassee releasing video now of that arrest of a suspect who worked as a Chuck E. Cheese mascot.
Stop resisting. Stop resisting. You're being detained. Stop resisting.
Police entering the restaurant, handcuffing the suspect. They say he'd been identified as a suspect in a credit card theft investigation.
The police really couldn't have waited until Chuck E.'s shift was over? You really had to kick the door down while he was singing Happy Birthday to Timmy? Also, they keep telling him to stop resisting. I mean, he works at Chuck E. Cheese. He stopped resisting a long time ago. If you know what I mean. That is truly some of the most amazing footage I've ever seen. So thank God for police body cams. This is why we march. But this kind of thing could cause lasting damage. I hope there weren't any little kids around to see it.
The Central Florida family was snapped in the back of this now viral photo of Chuck E. Cheese getting arrested at a Tallahassee location.
Chuck E. Cheese got arrested.
Don't worry, little girl. The trial will be quick. Chuck E. Cheese is going to get the death penalty. Then the grieving process begins. But is there any way we can make sure these kids need more therapy?
When they had him at the truck, they took off his head and put it on top of the SUV truck.
See, kids, they didn't arrest Chuck E. Cheese. They just decapitated him and put his head on a truck like a trophy. And then they took the black man inside him to jail. Everything's fine. So don't worry, little girl. This might be a traumatic memory for you now, but one day you'll be an adult, reliving this moment, completely sober in a Chuck's arcade while screaming for help inside the Snow Day machine.